to you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Good morning, everybody.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me well?
We can.
All right, perfect. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your time, and I'm glad to meet everybody.
Mike, can you put the slides up so that we know where we're at there? We've got a poll. We've got a poll to start with, I think. Yeah, most got them too. All right.
So just quickly, a couple of questions for you. All right. So we're gonna. Do you want to answer this poll first? I'm assuming. All right.
I want to get an idea of the diversity of the group that we have here today.
Yeah. All right. You want me to start or? All right, here we go.
Good to go.
Okay. So a quick question for everybody. Speaking of assets, who or what in our region has helped you with your dream to start or grow your business?
Looks like Sarah's got her hand up. Go ahead, Sarah.
I can go ahead and start, I guess. We utilize the SBDC a lot. They help like lay out our financial budget, projections, and even set up like what we need to do step by step and who we need to contact from there. So they were a huge, huge help in making sure we had everything lined up and doing everything that we needed.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. Look at SBDC. I see Willis is in Mankato SBDC. All right. As far as gaps, what are the external challenges you are facing as you pursue your dream when it comes to starting your business in the area?
And it may be that since we have some entrepreneurs here, but we also have people who work with entrepreneurs. It would be helpful perhaps if you talk to a lot of entrepreneurs. Maybe you could share what assets you've heard them talk about, what sorts of things have helped their businesses so that we can make sure to, kind of boost those, and what sorts of challenges they've run into. I know Nancy and some of the other people that have worked with the SBDC have had a lot of experience with diverse businesses in the area.
Yeah, I just want to say Nancy has been working with a lot of, let's just say, new Americans that has moved into the area. Also, a lot of diversity in the area that she's been helping quite a lot in the past few years. So thank you, Nancy, especially.
Thanks for mentioning, though. I actually brought a whole list, including Anne and her business, so that we can be aware of who they are in our community and support them after this is all over today.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool. Can you share the list in chat?
I think I can. I'll try. I've never tried to put a document into chat, but I'll give it a shot.
Right. I see a comment here from Tyler saying time management is one struggle that I have. Let's see. Do we want to answer that, or should I just continue with?
Are there any other assets that we have in our region that help businesses to start and grow? We've got the SBDC, the CIE, Greater Mankato Growth. Are those assets that diverse members of the community are using? Julie has her hand up. Go ahead, Julie.
So SCORE is another organization in the area that I've sought help with. Also, so my office is located in Mankato, but I'm personally located in St. Peter, and here our EDA is pretty awesome. And the chamber here is very supportive as well as GMG. Jackie down at GMG is just amazing.
All right.
I'll say that from the point of view from the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, about 25% of the students that I work with are students of color, and a significant percentage of them are international students, but some are also students from the United States that are starting up their businesses. So we have quite a bit of diversity in terms of the pool of young people that we're working with for starting businesses. Oh yeah, Southern Minnesota Initiative
Minnesota Initiative
Foundation.
Foundation.
Yeah, they have the Prosperity Initiative,
That's correct.
which is awesome. There's an organization over by Rochester called HACER. Juan Pablo Figuero from there does workshops with Hispanic entrepreneurs, helping them with various kinds of training and education. Are there any other assets we haven't named that people in the room know about?
If I might, I'll follow up with Julie's comments about the SCORE organization. Our Central Minnesota chapter covers 7 counties from Mankato over to Ortona, north to Fairville and south of the Iowa border. So it's pretty much just greater region, and most of you are probably aware of the SCORE organization, but it's in one respect like SBDC. It's outgrowth of the Small Business Administration, and we provide free mentoring for anyone that's interested in that type of help. So, yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. Go ahead.
Now both of these I think might be a little more beneficial to companies as they grow and need more employees. But both Jessica Miller with DEED, it has an amazing wealth of knowledge of the state resources that can help businesses, and you know, the amount of training that South Central College has as well. There is significantly more training, both credited training and non-credit training that they have available that people wouldn't think of.
Okay.
You mentioned DEED, and that reminded me of Launch Minnesota. They're specific to technology innovation. So if people are developing new applications, new medical things, you know, technological sorts of innovations. But that's another resource. Oh, and Jill just mentioned it. Okay.
What about, are there different ethnic organizations in town that help with the diverse population and helping them getting into business or getting them within the business community?
I want to say the SBDC is just about it, basically, when it comes to that. Also, the Diversity Council, the Mankato Diversity Council, has been helping directing new entrepreneurs, basically, who are looking to start something in the area, to either contact the SBDC. I've had a lot of meetings with newcomers that who had some questions about how they can start and settle in this area. You know, they might be having issues with finding jobs, and they've always been looking to start their own thing. So I've been in touch with quite a few in the area.
The Multicultural Network that I'm a member of is basically it's a mailing list, but they also have, they used to have regular in-person meetings. And the Multicultural Network is another resource. They share information, you know, pretty regularly on email, and also have the, I think, monthly meetings. So, should we move on to challenges, Mo?
Yes. So, yep. So, what are the external challenges that you are facing as you pursue your dream? And I believe there was a comment from Tyler. He said, "Time management is one struggle I have."
Ryan, do you still have your hand up from your comment before, or do you have a new comment related to gaps or challenges?
No, that was from my comment before.
Okay, Sarah?
Yeah, so of course, the obvious one that everyone's dealing with is COVID. We actually opened in the middle of COVID. We've known that we wanted to come to Mankato for 2 years. So when COVID hit, we're like, well, we want to be here anyway. So we decided to open. One of the biggest things of our marketing to get out into the community was to meet people. So huge hinder on that because of COVID. So we switched our platform and decided to go to social media, and just kind of online. And when I did that, I realized the market is so much more aggressive between all businesses, not even just like healthcare or chiropractor, but everybody, because everybody is buying ads on Facebook, online, putting things out like that. So it's making it really tough, I would say, for a small business or new business to kind of even market online right now. And obviously they can't do it in person. So even when online marketing was kind of one of our structures, it's really tough to even consider that right now because I don't have the big dollars that Hobby Lobby and Target and all of them are having, and they're buying ads online now. So that's kind of one struggle that we found.
I had a question for Mo. In your work with people from different cultures as they're either starting a business or trying to grow their business, and depending on who their audience is, who are they trying to make sales to? Have you come up with any kind of tried and true process to help them understand how to reach out? So if Sarah wants to connect with people who are in the Somali population, Mankato, or the Latinx population, how does she reach them if, some evidence is there that a lot of the newer people in our community are not tapped into the usual media?
Yes, I've spoken with them. I've always encouraged them to either set up events to promote their businesses, use social media to do so as well. Maybe contact the media, like radio stations or the TV station in the area to help them promote their business.
I'm thinking
But
more on the flip side of that though, Mo, the other side of the relationship. So if I have a business or Sarah has a business and she wants to reach that population base, how can we bring them to the table of other things that are going on in the community in addition to welcoming them to our businesses as well? Does that make sense?
yeah. I want to say maybe by inviting them to the table and have them present their business to our viewers, to people who might not know that there's a new business in the area. But a lot of them.
How do we find them to speak to them?
I'm sorry, you were breaking up there, Nancy.
How do we connect with them initially if they are not looking at social media or newspaper or radio? How can we start to make those connections?
Through the SBDC, maybe we can send out emails or newsletters highlighting the start of a new business in the area. That's about the only way we can help them out, I want to say.
Could we put up flyers in local international groceries, perhaps?
I have tried to get them to do so. A lot of them shy away from that for some reason.
Okay.
But I've pressed them to either have flyers, as you said, and maybe some kind of a media release. But the ones that I've talked to tend to, once their business start and they're going, they're content with where they are. So pushing them to do more just it's not fruitful as far as I've seen.
Do you remember the Global Goods Bazaar that happened about 4 or 5 years ago? Or it was a
Yes.
one-day pop-up shop?
Yes.
That was very successful. Maybe that would be something we could try again.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We're open for ideas on how we help them break out of their shell, basically, and come forward.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Ayan is here. Awesome.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, Ayan is here. Yep.
Hey, Mo. Long time no see you, buddy.
It's been a while.
Well, as a small business owner and as a new American, when it comes to marketing, it's different. Marketing to us is a word of mouth. So this is new to a lot of newcomers when it comes to marketing your business online, having brochures out there. That's a new concept, and I think that's where the need is. And also, I know, Nancy, you've asked the question, and you said, how are they marketing to the broader community? And that's something that I think it needs to be brought up. The majority of the new Americans, when we open a business, we open it within our community. So we're pretty much isolated. And unfortunately, we're not invited to the bigger tables in the community. You're not gonna see us at GMG table. You're not gonna see us at Region 9 table. So it's called, we have a large diversity in Greater Mankato area. However, are we included? There's a difference between diversity and inclusion. So I'm just gonna challenge this team about that. So it is a challenge, and I think I could speak to that personally, that it is a challenge when you are a minority business owner trying to open a business in Mankato area, to be seen and to be heard and to be given the same opportunity as anybody else in the community. And if it wasn't for SBDC and the hard work of many coaches, including Nancy, I don't think our business would have been where we are today. We had to have someone who vouched for us and say, okay, we know them, they're working hard, this is their dream. So we're missing that, the part of connecting, the connectors, the someone that introduces you to the small bank. If that was not SBDC, I don't think we would have had any loan for our business. So there's a lot when we talk about challenges when it comes to the new Americans or the diverse population. What are the challenges? And then, yeah, I could speak all day about that, but I'm gonna stop.
To that point about getting new Americans and including, it's a great or important to hear that message. I think 1 Million Cups is trying to include them, so we're not connecting or are not understanding that how can we better get new Americans to come and present their story here and maybe start breaking through to that being at the table and being included. What advice would you have as far as making those connections to new Americans to come and more diverse entrepreneurs to present at 1 Million Cups?
I would say go to their businesses. How many businesses you know in town that are owned by diverse populations? I mean, I could tell you on top of my head, they're over 20 or 30. Do you have the list? Do you purposely, intentionally include them in your conversations? I could tell you right now, I'm busy. I'm one woman show. My husband is the driver. I'm running the business. I don't have time. I don't have 4 hours or 3 hours or 2 hours meetings. I just don't have that. So maybe going into the business yourself, introducing yourself and providing the ideas, because they probably are the cashier, the teller, all of that. And they're running the business. So my advice to you is meet them where they at. Don't expect them to be in the Zoom meeting right now at 8:30 till 10. They don't have that time, especially now when COVID, and they probably laid off many of their employees. So just a thought, go to their businesses. First, have a list. Do you even have a list? First. Second, go to their businesses and see what they need. Ask them. Don't just come in and provide all of these great ideas, which is overwhelming. To be honest with you, it is overwhelming.
Thank you.
If I may, I was just going to say my experience in having a connection with Ayan in the past with her business startup and just with her as a beautiful human being. That was a life-changing time in my life because I started to understand what it was going to take to do business development or economic development. First had to be people development and relationship development, and remembering what it was like several generations ago when our parents and grandparents did business in Minnesota or had families, and how deep we went with each other and how we invested time. And it wasn't always about the paycheck or the money flowing. It was about becoming family and community with each other. And I sent a short list to Yvonne of 20 odd businesses that I've had the blessing to connect with. I won't say work with, but to connect with over the last 5 years. It is a healthier way of connecting as a community. You get a lot more results when you connect at that deeper level. I have a dozen families in the Mankato area that I share no blood with, but all consider me family, and I consider them families now. And so time is measured differently, resources are measured differently. Don't expect what you have in your little box of tools to automatically fit. You have to listen and take your time and open up not just your critical thinking skills, but open up your heart a little bit, and then things start to change slowly but surely, and you have to stay with it long haul. Am I right, Ayan?
You nailed that. I remember you coming with a list and you expecting me when we meet in a couple of weeks for me to go through that list. And I remember looking at you and like, I can't. I'm a mother of 5. I work full time. I go to school and I run the business. So yeah, you're right. I remember those days. And it was overwhelming. And it was until you said, oh, wait a minute. I think I need to slow down. And because I was about to cry. When I saw the list of what I needed to do.
It was only the tacos that kept you from losing it that day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good days though, good days.
Tammy has a comment. Go ahead, Tammy.
Yeah, just kind of build on what Nancy said too. Hi, Ann. We actually met. We actually met before I even became part of the SBDC, and I think the thing that is people have to learn how to relate and communicate and understand and be able to tell when somebody's not understanding. And I mean from our side to theirs. Ian was just like, I think I felt a lot of. I don't even quite know how to understand, but she had a lot of trying to develop that trust and understand me. And when I was answering the questions right, she's like, oh my God, there's somebody that you exist. Oh my gosh, you understand, you get it. Do you remember that? And that is so important that I think we need to educate ourselves.
I do.
How we have to educate ourselves on communicating with the diverse individuals and really understanding from their side, because we can have such a habit of just like, we drive to work every day, the same time, passing by the same stop sign, and we don't even remember, did I stop or didn't I stop? But when you're talking with individuals, they're all different, and recognizing that, and that's how you have to speak with them. Taking a list to individuals never works. I know we'd like to do that. You create the list with them. You don't take it to them. You create that list as you're talking with them. and then ensuring that there's that understanding. And I think that's how you and I really hit it off right away, because it was like, no, I didn't even have a list. It was like, what do you need? And we really communicated that way. So I think that's my advice to everyone, is that that's how you approach individuals that you're working with.
I'm emotional right now, just having you and Nancy here. Yeah, it brought me back to memories, but I've learned a lot, and I appreciate each one of all of you, everybody who came to our lives and taught me some, and I taught you some. So it was a journey. But yes, you have the people at the table who have worked with diverse population. Listen to them and ask them how you could provide services moving forward. But yes, we have business owners in the community, but they're not at the table. They're not at the table.
Yep. It's almost like we need an advocate such as yourself to go with, right? To teach us as we go.
I think you could be the advocate right there.
Okay, thank you.
I was thinking about the connection that happened between Kate and Jenny, you know, in One Man Cups, where they got together and then they did an event together. You know, perhaps if we can, you know, busy people like I am, you know, can't necessarily go to all the different meetings and stuff. But if we can make those little connections, perhaps we can help, you know, like Nancy was saying, build those relationships one person at a time. I love the list. I put it online. I'll put the link on the Facebook page, and then others can add to it, other businesses that they know of. We're coming up on the hour. We have a last question, I think, Mo.
Yes, the gaps basically, actually, what do you need next to help you start and grow your own business? I think that's a question that's on everybody's mind when it comes to starting.
I think we started answering that, you know, those personal connections and that kind of thing. So what do all of you in the group think after hearing, you know, what we've talked about today? What do we need next to help start and grow more diverse businesses in our area?
I got a question related to that. Is there a business group? It was shared earlier, you know, it's information shared by word of mouth. Is there any association or gathering that happens already that would be, you know, valuable to connect to? Something along those lines?
So if I can jump in, being in human resources for over 30 years and being a consultant now, this is the one gap that I honestly feel is lacking. And one of the groups that I have is right now weekly, and it might change to every other weekly, is I provide a free Q&A online, educational about COVID, answering questions and updates and stuff like that for small businesses. And I think right now, it's difficult to get small businesses, you know, we're all tight on money and stuff like that. And so I've been providing that service to everyone. And I think it's really grown. I have over 50 people that subscribe, and they just come and go at their, you know, when they want. So my commitment to them is to, I'm there. It's every Wednesday, 11:30 to 12:30. If they have questions, send them ahead of time or whatever, but just offering that service. So I think that the human side of it definitely is a big gap out there, especially with COVID. And we need to make sure that our clients understand that, you know, there is help for them in regards to becoming compliant. Employment law in Minnesota especially has really started to increase what we have to be held to, even the small employers, all the way down to even just one employee. And it's going to keep growing as a result of COVID. So I just wanted to put that out there. If anybody's interested in getting information on those meetings that I do, I'm more than happy to send out that.
Oh, a couple of
So
people.
we'll see. There's a question from Gary. Is the multicultural network? Yep.
Yeah, Yvonne, put that out there.
Mhm.
I'm naive. Is that, are you just talking in general of networking, or is there an actual labeled multicultural network organization?
Yeah, Lupe Quintero is involved in that. Juan Pablo and a bunch of others. There's a mailing list for it, and they have monthly meetings, and they're kind of scattered. They meet in different parts of the state at different times. And I see Nancy's listed a couple of other organizations. Another one I mentioned was Hacer with Juan Pablo's group. So there are some organizations around that we can step into. And Bukata was going to be here today, but he wasn't able to make it. He and I talked about the Diversity Council and how we might work together on something. And one of the things we're looking at is for Global Entrepreneurship Week in November, doing a celebration of African American entrepreneurs in the area. So I think that'll be really exciting. Variable Diversity Coalition, I haven't heard of that. That's neat. And City of St. James has some tailored services to the Latino population. Thanks, Nancy. Well, so glad everybody was here today. Thank you very much. Thanks, Mo. We can move on to our next slide, Mike. Thanks so much for a great conversation. It was really great that Ayan could join us. Thanks, Ayan. I know you're super busy, and I remember you telling me stories about the challenges that you're running into, so it was real awesome that you were here. Mike, can you go back one slide? Next week, we're going to have the Pleasant Grove Pizza Farm and Megan Holt Health Coaching. So we'll have two small businesses presenting next week. Pleasant Grove has presented before, and they're going to come back and give us an update. And then Megan Holt is going to tell us about her health coaching business. I also wanted to mention that this conversation today, we took notes from. We're going to try and spread the word out to some of these other organizations, see if we can get more input. And there's going to be a follow-up panel on September 12th. So we'll have a panel of people talking about diverse businesses in the community, how we can support. And please get the word out. All of you who are working with diverse businesses, please help spread the word that 1 Million Customer Mankato would love to have them come and present and be part of the community. We support all entrepreneurs, and we'd love to be of help, and we'd love to learn from everybody too.